Hi, it's Anthony Iannarino, and this is Every Day. I'm on a little bit of a rant here, and it's because I spent some time reading the internet today, some articles on LinkedIn, some on Facebook, some that were sent to me, and I noticed that a lot of people offer advice to other people on the internet that's really not advice, it's really an opinion. And I think it's important that you know the difference between advice and an opinion, because people give you their opinion even if they're not really offering you advice. Let me make the distinction for you. The first article I saw today was an article about how to make your quota faster in 2017. So compress the time, do it faster, don't take the whole year, make your number early in the year. Great idea, great sentiment. I agree with it completely. And even some of the points made sense. But the thing is, this advice was being given by someone who's never sold, never carried a bag, so they've never had to sit in front of customers and win deals themselves, and from somebody who's never led a sales force. So even if the advice is good, and even if you take the advice, you have to remember and keep in mind, you're taking the advice of someone who's expressing an opinion that's never had the experience to know whether or not what they're telling you is actually going to work, because it never worked for them because they never had to do it. The second one was advice on never cold call. And this article was written by someone who is not leading a sales force, does not own a business of their own, doesn't have a number to make, but doesn't like cold calling particularly well. That's an opinion, because to believe that to be true and offer it as advice, this person would have to actually own a business and make the decision themselves to choose some other method other than cold calling. And what happens to businesses when they don't choose cold calling is that they figure out that the speed to revenue is too slow. And even big companies like HubSpot and a lot of the social selling companies actually have outbound because they know that they need to make cold calls. That's just a fact. So if your money is on the line, you will do what's necessary to survive and to have your business grow. So even if you like the advice, even if it makes you feel better about what you're doing, the fact of the matter is it's being offered by someone who's giving you an opinion because they haven't done what they're telling you to do. The third one was on who you need to be to lead your team in 2017, written by a writer. And there's nothing wrong with being a writer, and there's nothing wrong with studying a craft. But it's not advice, it's an opinion, because for it to be advice, that person would have to be sharing with you something that they know to work because they actually put it into action themselves. And the last one, probably my favorite, was if you're an entrepreneur, how to grow your business and scale it, from a person who hasn't scaled a business. If you want advice, look to people who have done what you want to do. Look to people who have done what you want to do and who know how to do that because they've had this set of experiences that let them know what works and what doesn't work. When you're taking an opinion and treating it as advice, then you sometimes end up in trouble because what looks like really sound solid advice from a smart writer isn't, specifically because it's an opinion. That's my rant. It was a gentle rant. I was nice about it. I named no names. I just shared with you my thoughts on this. And I think if you're going to take advice, for my money, I like practitioners a lot more than I like theorists. I love theorists. I can read them all day long. But when I really want to know what to do, I want to hear from a practitioner. I'm Anthony Iannarino. This is Every Day, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm totally bothered by this. I'm totally bothered by the fact that people read this and they think that they're getting advice when they're getting an opinion. Just don't do that.